All right, hello everyone. Hello, and welcome back. This is Tony with Informed Citizen Reporting, and today we're going to be talking about Universal Basic Income, also known for short as UBI. This is a promise that every person will get a universal basic income, basically money from the government for doing nothing. And I will hopefully try to explain to you why this is a terrible idea and why it should never be implemented in a capitalistic society ever. All right, so we're going to look at an article here from Nathan Heller. Nathan Heller wrote an article, Who Really Stands to Win from Universal Basic Income? It's extremely long-winded. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. You can read it if you like. Let's get started. So today is Thursday, October 17th. And hold on a second. And I'm going to start by saying this, that in the capitalistic society that we currently have in the United States of America, you cannot, or you should not, I should say, the government should not get involved with people's ability to make a living, right? And I know it sounds strange, but if you take away a person's ability to make an honest living through hard work and dedication, then you take away their desire, or I guess ability to make an honest living, right? And that de-incentivizes hard work, and it de-incentivizes going to work and having a regular schedule and adding and contributing to society, right? So by giving people money for nothing, right, you de-incentivize or delegitimize actual hardworking, honest people, right? Basically, you start tearing at the foundation of any capitalistic society where you just get rid of the desire to work hard and make a living, right? So, yeah. So any universal basic income will chip away at the capitalistic society, basically making poor, lazy people more incentivized to have children and do nothing, right? So you basically spawn an entire society of lazy, government reliant people, right, that do not give anything to society. They're draining society rather than giving back, and they're creating a negative impact on society, basically tearing away at the foundations of any capitalistic society. And what it comes down to is this. It's simple, very simple. The more people that are reliant on the government, basically taking money from the government rather than giving money to the government, the less likely that government will succeed, right? Basically, the more people reliant on government and the less people paying in, the more likely the government will either fail or go bankrupt eventually, right? Basically, it's like anything, right? If you take more money out of the government than you put in, then eventually the government will run out of money. It's quite simple. All right, so in this article, I highlighted only one part. This article is gigantic. It's long. It shows many cases of. Hold on. What did I do with it? Oh, I got rid of it. God dang it. I had an article. Oh, no, hold on. It's right here. Here it is. So, universal basic income, or UBI, is a fixed income that every adult, rich or poor, working or idle, automatically receives from government. Unlike today's means-based or earned income, payments are usually the same size and arrive without request, meaning automatic. Everyone automatically gets the money, even if you do nothing. Depending on who designs a given system, they might replace all existing government assistance programs or complement them as a water safety net. A UBI is a lesson and an ideal, not just an economic policy, Lowry writes. The ideal is that a society at a first priority should look out for its people's survival. The lesson is that possibly it can do so without unequal redistributive plans. whatever. Anyway, the big thing is this: universal basic income (UBI) is a fixed income that every adult, rich or poor, working or idle, receives. So, just think about this. If everyone just gets money for nothing, then what's the incentive to work, right? Not only that, where do you think the money comes from? Do you think the money just appears out of nowhere? Do you think it just is grown from a money tree? Do you think the government will reallocate any of their funding or budget they have right now? Or do you think they will just add an extra $1,000 tax to every single working American, right? So universal basic income would just be another tax on the working middle class, which it's a twofold effort to basically bring down the middle class. That's what it is. It's bringing down the middle class further into poverty, right? By de-incentivizing the poor and the poverty-stricken people from working hard and trying to make their way up into the middle class. Also, by taxing and bringing down the hardworking middle class to pay for the poor's inability to make a living, right? Which, it may sound harsh, but it's the basic concept of life, right? The strong and the willing will survive, while the poor and the lazy will not, right? And that's how capitalism works. You're supposed to be incentivize or promote people who work hard, right? You're supposed to give people that work hard more, right? That's how capitalism works. The harder you work, the more you get paid, the higher you get in society, right? It's a basic concept of capitalism. The more you work, the more you get. The less you work, the less you get. So if you incentivize doing nothing, being lazy, being poor, and you get something for nothing, then you are basically destroying the fabric of society that is founded on capitalism. You're destroying the fabric of the U.S. society. And it's very mischievous, very counterintuitive to our way of living, right? As Americans, we strive on hard work and dedication. And if you take that away by giving everyone just free money, then you're destroying one of the pillars of our society. And that is why universal basic income should never be allowed, ever, in a free market capitalistic society. Because it just never works. Its intent is hidden behind layers of deceit and deception, right? Because it's not free money. Because there's nothing free in this world. You have to work for what you get. You have to earn what you get, right? If you don't earn something, right? If you get something for free, then you take it for granted and you expect it, right? So once you're on universal basic income, you are stuck on universal basic income for life, because as soon as you take it away, those who are dependent on it will get further into poverty, and it will cause massive either famine or rioting or something. It will cause massive it would destabilize society, I should say. Basically, it's like this, right? Once you incentivize not working, right, people will not work anymore. They will just live off the government, get paid for nothing, and they will have a lot of children who will live in that same mentality, right? That the government owes them something, that the government should give them things for free. And universal basic income is a lose-lose situation for everyone. The poor get money for nothing, and the middle class and the wealthy get taxed to pay for the poor to do nothing, right? It's, to me, it's the ultimate way to undermine a capitalistic society from within, right? To rationalize giving things for free. And once people get reliant on it, they will never go back, right? It can't be taken away, right? It's like the old saying, right? If you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? That's the basic concept. If you give a person UBI, they will eat for that month, right? But if you take away the UBI, they're not going to eat anymore because they don't know how to earn a living, right? So UBI, once you instill it, once you install it into a society, once you make it a policy or a law, then you can't take it away, because those people that are reliant on it will become dependent upon it. And it is socialism veiled as a good deed, right? It's the foundation of socialism that everyone gets something for nothing, right? You get something in socialist society just for existing. You get free healthcare, free universal income, all these things. But what that does is it devalues hard work, and it devalues capitalism, right? So it's just socialism by any other name. It's still socialism. And socialism has always, always, always failed. In every example throughout history, it always fails. Because once you take away people's not only desire or want to work, then you take away society's, you basically stop progression in that society, right? Society will regress rather than progress, right? Every time it happens. You de-incentivize hard work, then society regresses. Capitalism works because it always promotes competitiveness and progress. Always. Because the best and the brightest get paid the most because they create new products, new inventions, and they always get paid more because the society the word is escaping me. Society will pay people for their inventions, right? They will dang it. Not incentivize. What's the word I'm thinking about? Hold on, let me get this. I found the word. Society will reward those who work hard in a capitalistic society. You get rewarded for working hard, for creating new inventions, for continuing to strive to make the world a better place. So capitalism is twofold, in that it's twofold benefit, right? You make the world a better place, at the same time you get paid for doing it. So getting a reward for doing the right thing is a win-win for everyone. That's why capitalism is a win-win. And that's why socialism, or UBI, whatever you want to call it, is a lose-lose, because you de-incentivize working hard, and you de-incentivize progressing a society. All right. I think that's all I have to say about UBI and why I think it should never be implemented ever. And free money is not free. There's nothing free in the world. It doesn't matter what anyone tells you. Someone paid for it. Someone worked hard for something. Thinking that you can just live off the government for nothing, that is a lie. It's a lie and a dream thought up by a socialist who thought they could change the world for better, right? I will say, I went in with this. Socialism is good in theory, but in practical application, it's a terrible, society-ending governmental structure. It ends society every time. It ends in destruction, it ends in death, it ends in mass starvation, and famine, and riots, and people dying everywhere. That's what socialism always ends in. Because people lose their will to work hard and strive and be better and help others, right? And once you take that away, you destroy the fabric, you destroy an entire society. So socialism never works. Ever. Throughout history, never. You can point to isolated incidents, but they're not true socialism. Trust me, they're not. And that's why capitalism has to stay, and that's why any measure that chips away or starts to destroy the foundations and the pillars of our society, of a capitalistic, free society, that must be struck down and shouted down and never implemented, ever. And that's all I have to say about UBI. Thank you for viewing. Hopefully you agree. If you're not, please let me know. We can have an open discussion about it. And I know it sounds strong in my opinion, but it's just because I understand how the whole system works, right? Once you understand how the whole system works, then you can see the flaws in individual ideas and what people say is not often what they actually mean or intend, especially politicians. Thank you very much for viewing. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.